Hello, welcome to another edition of Faith Boost Devotional. We're still in the book of Genesis. From this devotional, Today in the Word, from Moody Bible Institute. The page, chapter 45 of Genesis talks about the unveiling. In this story, we've been following the family of Jacob. Jacob is the grandson of Abraham. We're in the family of Jacob. Jacob is the grandson of Abraham and the son of Isaac. At this time of his life, Jacob is an old man. And Jacob had 12 sons. The Bible recorded one daughter. I don't know if he had more, but he had one daughter from his first wife, Leah. And the background, remember, Jacob had ended up with 5 women. He had a total of 12 sons from 4 different women. I know the 2 sisters, Leah and Rachel. He wanted to marry Rachel, but his uncle tricked him into marrying the first daughter. So now, fast forward, out of the 12 sons, the 10 sons gathered together when they were in the field, shepherding their father's flock, and they sold their youngest brother at that time. I don't believe that Benjamin had been born. Oh, I believe Benjamin had been born, but he was very little, because Joseph and his brother Benjamin, they are apart. They are very wide apart. And the mother, I believe the mother have died at this point when this is happening, because the mother died on giving birth to the brother Benjamin, and the mother is Rachel. So the dad, Jacob, transferred that love, the love he had for his wife. The Bible even recorded the only one he considered out of these 4 women, the only one he considered his wife was Rachel. Basically, all the other ones were forced on him, right? The 2 servants were forced by the wives and by Rachel and Leah. But as far as Jacob is concerned, the one he loved was Rebecca is the mom, was Rachel, pardon me. So now we are in this scene now, in this family drama unfolding. We are in Genesis chapter 45, and I've read it from 1 to 28. So this is a scene in Egypt. Fast forward, after 13 years, Jacob sent his sons out to Egypt to buy food, because there was famine practically in the whole world. So they have gone the first time, and Jacob's sons, the 10 of them, he didn't send the youngest Benjamin, Joseph's direct brother from the mom and dad. He sent the 10 brothers, and when they got there, Joseph is now the second in command in the land of Egypt behind Pharaoh. He's the one in charge of food and everything that has to do with everything authority-wise. So he recognized his older brothers, but they didn't recognize him. He commanded the people, pretended like, of course, he doesn't hear Hebrew. Remember, he grew up in a Hebrew, in a Hebrew household, so he understands the language. But when they came, they were using interpreters, because the way he dressed and everything, you would never, of course, they never thought, but they bowed down to him. His dream, the revelation God gave him, came to pass. They bowed down to him. He kind of, tried to test them. That's why we stopped up. But now they came back the second time, because of he wanted to test them. He asked them they left Simeon. They left Simeon behind. So when they wanted to come back, the dad didn't want. The dad said, I lost Joseph and now Simeon, and you want me to give you Benjamin. I'm not going to do that. But then when the hunger starts, the grandchildren, the daughter-in-laws, when that hunger, and himself is an old man now. I'm talking about Jacob. So eventually he agreed because he wanted to, he thought they could go back to Egypt to get food. They said no. Then Judah stepped forward. Judah stepped forward. Judah is the first son, and Judah means praise. He went first and told the dad, they said, put it upon me. Please, let me take Benjamin. This guy said he's not going to see us. The dad started asking, why did you take? Say, how could we know? But none of them knew that prophecy is being unfolded. Prophecy is beginning to unfold, and Joseph's dream is beginning to be fulfilled. Then going back to their grandfather, their great-grandfather Abraham, God in Genesis chapter 15 had promised him, say, your descendant will go to a land and they will be there, and after that I will get them out again. It's amazing. Who knows? Are you fulfill a prophecy? I fulfill a prophecy. My prayer is for you and myself that we fulfill positive prophecies, prophecies that are in line with the will of God for our lives. Because somebody has prayed for us. If nobody has prayed for you, I want to tell you, if you're a child of God, Jesus has prayed for you long before we were born. In John chapter 17. How did I get here? Now back to the story. In Egypt, in Joseph's living room, his big space, right? He's the second in command. The brothers, has come back, brought the money that they put on the top of their sacks, brought the brother Benjamin, brought a silver, because Joseph wanted to see if the brother has changed. So he put the cup, his silver cup, he commanded the chief servant to put that cup in Benjamin's sack. So when they started going back, he told the servant to go and get them and accuse them. Why did they take the cup? So now they have come back before him because they found the cup in Benjamin's sack, and they were like confessing, like, oh, we're basically, you see, our sins is finding us out and stuff like that. So it was so, when it's amazing, I believe that Joseph is a type of Christ. Is an example of Christ, because apart from when he was young, he was telling his brothers his dream. That's why it's not everybody you need to talk to, but because he was such a young man that time. He was less than 17, right? Because when they sold him, he was 17. So he didn't have that much wisdom, and he wasn't thinking anything of it. That's how you know his heart was pure. He wasn't thinking any. Sometimes you share things with people, you're not thinking anything, but their heart is dark. So you have to ask God for discernment. Lord, help me to discern. Like my father in the Lord, Reverend Sholaba, always say, when somebody come, ask God, who is this person to me? I learned that in my older age. I used to think everybody, because it's that your own heart is pure. And when I mean pure, it doesn't mean like every one of us have sinned against God. But when God God gave us the mind of Christ and the heart of Christ. But there's sometimes people just envious and jealous, and they for some reason they cannot comprehend why God should bless you. So now in this devotional today, Joseph and his brothers came face to face again. Now, they're all bowing down to him, calling him my Lord. One thing about Joseph is, Joseph had already forgiven them long before they showed up. Because if Joseph didn't have relationship with God, a good one for that matter, the Bible will not be saying, and the Lord was with Joseph, and the Lord was with Joseph, and the Lord was with Joseph. The Lord was with Joseph. The Lord, because Joseph refused to get bitter. Joseph refused to grumble. There were so many reasons for him to do so. And here we are, face to face with the same family members that sold him and said, let's see what will become of his dream. And what an irony. But what Joseph responded and how he acted is amazing. It's amazing. is something to emulate. I see you on the other